Codemotion Milan 2016 has been closed by Mario Fusco. Thank you, Mario, for attending. Thank you, Mario, for your extraordinary keynote. So, Mario, where is your red hat today?
Yeah, I forgot it at home and my daughter was playing with it, so I didn't bring it, sorry.
But you are awesome also without your red hat.
Yeah, I hope people will recognize me the same, yeah.
People recognize you from your extraordinary keynote, talking about the bias when you write in code, and the generally speaking the bias that we bring with us, and yes, that close us in some direction or push us in other direction. So, what was the killer feature that you talk in your keynote?
So again, the general idea of the keynote is that we as a human being have a lot of bias that makes our brains to work in a primitive way, sort of. Okay, and even for a very technological job as ours, this primitive way of thinking have a huge impact, and we don't realize it because it's natural to us as human beings to behave that way. Okay, so the idea was to at least be conscious of these problems, at least know how our brains work and why, and be conscious of the problem. I don't want to say to fix everything, to fix the problem, because again, it's something very inconscious, something very natural to us, but at least be conscious of the problem, at least when we look backward and reevaluate our decision and try to figure out if we were biased when we took those decisions and how we can improve in future. Okay, and the other thing is that I believe that these biases are particularly bad for our job because they brought historically our job in a unexpected and not planned and weird direction. I mean, it is no longer perceived as an engineering job. Okay, we feel like ninjas or artists or craftsmen or I don't know, but it's not like that. We are engineer. Okay, we have to behave as engineer. We have to think as engineer, and we have to work consequently. Okay, so that was the main point of my keynote, and I hope people enjoyed it.
They did. Talking about improvement, continuous improvement is probably one of the keywords of your career as a person, as an engineer, of course. Usually we talk about functional languages with you, but what is the way in which toward which the languages are directing?
Okay, so historically we had even there and even much biased direction toward imperative languages, and I believe that the main reason at time when we started designing programming languages is that the one-nomen architecture was leaking inside the design of programming language. Okay, this was both a leaking but also a deliberate choice because at time we really didn't have any alternative to make our program performant given the limited hardware of the time. Okay? But this is no longer true. So we can build higher level abstraction. We can think to programming language in a different way, in a more declarative and more functional way, and at the same time we don't need to throw away what we learned doing imperative programming. So the idea is mixing the two, using the right tool for the job at home, enlarge your toolbox actually. So the big your toolbox is, the best it is, because you can really choose the right tool for the job at hand, and mix these things together. So this is the direction taken from other languages like Scala, and Java now is following this direction with Java 8 that added lambda expression in it. And I think that more and more languages, even JavaScript, is going in that direction. So again, it's not black and white. There are at least 50 shades of gray in the middle, and our job is to find the right level, the right shade of gray for the test cadet.
Talking about Java, you have been awarded by one of the 20 personalities, the most influential personality in Java. It's amazing, right?
Yeah, amazing, unexpected, and I don't know why, and I didn't ask, so yeah, I'm happy with it.
And you're right to be happy. Yeah. Okay, final question. You follow Codemotion from the very first time, and you saw as great as conference, as culture. We talk about culture, coding culture today. Probably we brought a piece of coding culture in Italy. So what's your vibe, what's your feeling about Codemotion, a sort of retrospective?
So the first and biggest merit of Codemotion was to create a first class, a great conference in Italy, and honestly, we don't have it before Codemotion or Java Day at time. Yeah. And the other thing is that indeed it was Java Day at time, so it was focused on a particular technology on the Java world, and then it changed name. They realized that they had to enlarge their talks, they offering. Yes, because it's not only Java, of course. So the other big merit of Codemotion is to give a full spectrum of the available technology and give to any developer the possibility to listen something about the topic they are interested to. But I also have a small advice about it when you go to a conference, especially to a conference like Codemotion. Go also to attend a talk that you don't know anything about it, okay? Because you could be positively impressed and surprised by something totally new that can open your mind. So don't focus on the stuff that you already know. Try to exit from your comfort zone, and the Codemotion is one of the greatest opportunity you have to do this.
Thank you very much, Mario. Thank you.
Okay. And thank you, everybody, for coming here also this year, and we will meet next year, of course. Bye.